Good afternoon, children. Again, welcome back to our second session of science. Now, in my previous lessons or the session, I will say, I have explained you what is energy, units of energy, and also we have studied the mechanical energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, and in potential energy, we have seen the gravitational potential energy and the conditional energy or the potential energy due to gravitation, the condition. So now coming to the next concept or the type of energy, according to your textbook only we will go, that is the chemical energy. Chemical energy. So first we have seen potential energy. In that we have seen gravitational, and second we have seen conditional. Then second we have seen kinetic energy. Third we have seen mechanical energy. And now the fourth which we are going to see is the chemical energy. Now we have to see what do you mean by the chemical energy. So by word itself we can know that the chemical energy is due to the chemical process. Chemical process. Let us take a simple example of the chemical process. For example, you have taken little water, let us say 10 ml of water you have taken, and in 10 ml of water you have just added HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. It is an acid. So when we are adding HCl in water, so let us say in 10 ml, I have just added 2.5 ml of HCl. And we know that HCl is acidic in nature. It is acid and it is a very strong acid. So when you are adding HCl in water, in the beginning, the moment you are adding it to it, or when you are opening the bottle of HCl, you will find that the steam-like structure is coming out, or either the bubbles are being just oozing out. So that steam-like structure is coming out because that HCl is getting reacted with the atmosphere. And when you are putting it into the water, you will find that the bottom of this container, or you can say a jar, it becomes lukewarm. Not hot, I will not say hot, but it is lukewarm. Beyond that, instead of HCl, if you are added H2SO4. H2SO4 means it is sulfuric acid. You have just added the drops of sulfuric acid into water, you will find that again the bottom of this container or the jar has become lukewarm because it is releasing the heat. HCl or H2SO4 are releasing the heat, and therefore water has raised its temperature. So this is a chemical reaction, and that chemical reaction is the energy because these HCl or H2SO4 are useful somewhere as an energy. Best example we can have of, you are cleaning the toilets and the bathrooms using the liquid which is being used in our day-to-day life. So that liquid which we are using for cleaning the toilet or the bathrooms, they are already diluted form of it is being there. You have just put the drops and you just put a brush or apply the brush, the toilet and the bathrooms are clean or the sink is clean. So there what we make use of is the HCl or H2SO4. It depends how much strong you want. Rather, compared to HCl, H2SO4 is much more stronger, and therefore we never handle it with the bare hands, but you have to put the gloves and take the maximum care that your body does not come in touch with that H2SO4. So that H2SO4 is having a chemical reaction with water, and you get a solution combined with H2SO4 plus this water, and you will find that the bottom of this jar has become lukewarm. Then is it not an energy? Yes, it is, because to remove the stains of any specific thing, the HCl or the H2SO4 is being used. So it is a chemical energy. There are many more chemical energies like this which are used in our day-to-day transaction or day-to-day life. So chemical energy, we say that this chemical energy is due to the chemical process. I'll just read an example for you. Chemical, this reaction. The energy needed to just move vehicles, that is also chemical energy only. Let us categorize this chemical energy for variety of uses or how it is being used. Chemical energy. So this chemical energy is nothing but we get it or it is being gained due to the chemical process. Any chemical process and we get the chemical energy. That's all. But now for these chemical energies, we are having the variety of things, or we can say the processes which we require. For example, first let us say the energy required to continue or to carry on, rather than continue I will use the word not continue, to carry on. To carry on are physical processes or bodily processes. So here we, by definition itself, we can just guess what it is, because these physical processes which are in there, like you have to run, you have to talk, you have to study, you have to play, all these are activities which are bodily activities of the human body, but you require energy for that, and that to continue, or we can say the carry on, are bodily activities or physical activities. In that the energy which you get is out of, this energy is gained out of the food we consume, and this energy we get by consuming or digesting the food. That means our digestion is also a chemical process, because we have learned in our previous classes also, fats are been getting into fatty acids, proteins are being getting converted into the amino acids. That means we are having carbohydrates, vitamins, acids, all these which we are say that they are intakes, again they are being getting converted into the acid, and in our body the enzyme or the helping substance which is there in our body to digest the food is HCl. Therefore see, when we are consuming the food such that which is heavy to digest, then we say that I got acidity. Why does this happen? So because to digest that food, the heavy food, the HCl required by your body is more, and that HCl, when it is created in more quantity to digest that heavy food, the acidity is being created, because HCl is being taken as the helping substance to digestive food. That is a part. So now we are having the, or to carry on the physical process, like to run, talk, study also, play also, or any other walking activities there, all that is being gained by the food which we consume, and that food consumption or the food digestion is nothing but it is a chemical process, because as I told you, the fats are getting converted into the fatty acids, proteins are being getting converted into the amino acids, and there are many more. These are examples. So that means these are which are being given they are also the energy. And if you do not consume the food properly, these fats or the proteins or the vitamins or the minerals through which you get out of the vegetables, water, whatever is been there, that will not be gained and you will not have supply of energy to your body. So digestion of food is also a type or a kind of chemical energy, because chemicals are formed over there, that is acid. And HCl is also there, which is actually helpful to your body to digest the food which you have intaken or you have taken. And therefore, this is nothing but the chemical energy only. Now, in chemical energy, we can have one more thing, that is the chemical energy, not connected to this energy or the food intake which you are having. It is bit different, and that is nothing but the fuel energy. And fuel energy we are having is the diesel, petrol, or inner fuel we are having kerosene also. But this diesel and petrol we are using to run the vehicles, diesel and petrol, and kerosene we are using for your cooking purpose or to light the lamps. That means they are providing energy. And whatever I am categorizing now, energy required to carry on your bodily activities, that is nothing but it is a food energy. It is a chemical process because digestion itself is a chemical process. Second, fuel energy. In that fuel, we are having diesel, petrol, kerosene. In that, diesel and petrol are standing for running the vehicles, and kerosene is standing for the cooking purpose or to light the lamp. It is a energy. It is a energy. But it is a chemical energy, because once this diesel and petrol is being consumed or it is being burned, you are not going to get it back. It is a chemical energy. Another thing, apart from this fuel energy, you are having one more energy, that is the explosive energy. Explosion. Explosive energy. That is also chemical energy. Explosive energy. And in explosive energy, we are having the explosion of chemicals. Explosion of chemicals. For example, if you take the example of crackers which we burn for Diwali or any other festival. Of course, these days it is not been advisable, but let us say some days ago we were doing it. So that is a chemical or explosive because it is having the sulfur. Consumption of the or burning of the sulfur is there, or burning of the phosphorus is there. So it is a chemical. So that chemical which is being used here, like phosphorus or sulfur. So these two are the chemicals, and therefore it is a chemical energy. But that is giving you some amount of fuel, some amount of light. It depends. For example, when you are burning the crackers, it gives you the sound energy and the light energy. Two energies are there. But you are burning either the phosphorus or you are burning either phosphorus or the sulfur. So these two are chemicals. That means, aren't we burning some chemicals over there? Yes. But it is an energy because unless that phosphorus or sulfur was not containing in the crackers, that cracker wouldn't have burnt at all. Means some energy is provided to it. And that is a chemical energy because phosphorus and sulfur, these are two chemicals what we have. Two chemicals what we have. And therefore, we define them as the chemical energy. Now next one more we are having is the dynamite. Dynamite also a chemical energy. Let us go to the next. cells of in chemical energy, torch batteries. Cells of torch batteries are also chemical energies, because you have seen, and might be you have learned, the cell which we are using here, you are having one rod over here which is having the giving you the chemical energy, and that is containing the ammonia, then carbon is there, sulfur is there, zinc is there. The closing or the end part of the cell which is been there, you are getting here the silvery coat over here, and that silvery coat is nothing but it is the zinc. Means aren't we using the chemical here? We are using the chemical, because there is a consumption of ammonia, sulfur, carbon, and zinc is nothing but it is a coating to it. But finally, when the total burning of the cell has taken place, it is nothing but we are using the chemical energy. So here we can say the cells or the torch batteries are nothing but they are containing the chemical energy, because we are using certain chemical elements into it, and those chemical elements are, you take the example of zinc, you take the example of ammonia, you take the example of carbon rod, or you take the example of the sulfur. It depends upon what quantity they are putting into it. All these are chemicals only, and these chemicals are nothing but they are supplying chemical energy to this battery cell. If you just open the cell, that paper, if you just tear it off and go on opening, you will find all these layers into it, which are using, or which are, you can say, they are good conductors of, they are good conductors of the chemical energies. They are conducting the energy, and therefore they are good conductors of the energies, and so we say that it is a chemical energy. Now next what we have is the mechanical energy, which already we have seen. Next comes the electrical energy. So we have seen potential energy, kinetic energy, mechanical energy, chemical energy, and in potential energy we are having two types of sources, or we can say that potential energy is of two types. One is the gravitational potential energy, and second is the potential energy due to the condition, or you can say it as a conditional potential energy. So now next what we have is the electrical energy. Electrical energy. So electrical energy is different type than chemical energy. We are having electrical energy as to light and to run the fans or the coolers or whatever. So we can say that electrical energy is used to run electrical appliances. In that everything comes, everything, what not, because today the world is running on electricity only. Even you charge your mobile, you need electricity. You iron your clothes, you require electricity. You feel or you need to have very cool when you come out from the hot, then you need cooler, you need fan, you need AC. That means all these are run on electricity. Ironing the clothes also requires electricity. Running of the mixer, grinder, washing machine, running of the refrigerator. So many examples we have, and we see that they all are run on the electricity. And to the very simple or the root element which we say that it is run on electricity is the simple electrical bulb or the fluorescent lamp which we burn in our house. Rather, the whole world is depending on the electricity only. So this is electrical energy, because to run these electrical appliances we take the help or we take the support of electricity. Now, in your textbook they have given 3 advantages of the electrical energy. First, it is said it can be transported easily over large distances by electrical wires. These are advantages. Advantages of the electrical energy. So first advantage we are having is it gets carried through wires. Long distances. It gets carried through wires the long distances. Second, it does not cause pollution. This is the most important advantage what we have. And then we can say that it is a clean energy. It is the clean energy as it does not pollute the surrounding. It does not pollute the surrounding. Third advantage is been given. It can easily be converted into other forms of energy. It can, this electrical energy, it can easily be converted into any other form of energy. Let us see one by one so that concept will be more clear. Advantages of electrical energy are it gets carried through wires long distances. As I have told you that when we produce the electricity at the pumping station, you are having the generators, then you are having the transformers, which are being set at every you can say some distances of some houses are there, societies are there, and then it comes to your house. That means it is getting carried from the spot where the electricity is produced to your house, and that is possible because it carries the long distance through the wires. So that is the advantage. You are not to carry from one place to other place. You just have the use of the wire, have the wire connection or have the cable connection. It is very easily, it can be transported, not transformed, transported from one place to the other place. Second, it is a clean energy because it does not pollute the surrounding. We have never seen that any machine which is run on the electricity is just polluting the surrounding. Of course, in the industries where you are having a part of manufacturing section is there, that is responsible for polluting, but electricity is not responsible. The responsible elements are the elements which you are using for manufacturing. That is possible. But electricity as a simple or single unit if you take, that is not polluting the surrounding, but rather it is the clean, you can say, the form of energy which does not pollute the surrounding. And third is it can easily be converted into any other form of energy. It can easily be converted into any other form of energy. Example we can give. Let us take the example of the TV which we are consuming in our house. TV is using the electricity. This is the electrical energy is being used over there. And the moment you are just switching on the button of TV, you will find that first the light opens and then you get the sound, because light travels faster than the sound energy. And so you first get the light and then you are able to hear it. And therefore, this electrical energy is being getting converted into the light and the sound energy. There are many things are there. Example, let us say the iron which you are using to press your clothes. So iron first is using the electricity. This is having the electrical energy. But it becomes hot means this electrical energy is Of course, in TV also heat energy is produced because TV gets hot after certain period of time when it is consumed for a long period of time. So electrical energy is been getting converted into the light energy, sound energy and the heat energy. As well, iron which is having stored energy, that is electrical energy, is been getting converted into the heat energy. So electricity actually has very much advantages than any other energy because that is the only energy which is converting or transforming its own energy, that is electrical energy, into the other form of energy. Now other types of energies which we are going to see, we are going to study them in our next session. Okay, thank you students.